Welcome to the Smith Rowland Show. Let's join our host, Alan Smith and Jeff Rowland.
Welcome to the Smith Rowland Show.
Ed McMahon.
Refrigerator.
That's what the outside is right now, is a refrigerator.
That's exactly right.
It's gotten a little chilly.
It's borderline freezing, I would say. But it's nice. Beats the summer.
Yeah, it does. I was ready for cold weather.
Were you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But we're not farmers either.
Well, that's true.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be out there scooping poop like Alan does all day long.
All day long.
I mean,
just absolutely.
Yeah.
All
day.
Yeah,
boy. Yeah.
The long.
Yeah,
Be
boy.
frozen to death.
He's out there just,
All
going
day
at it.
long.
All day long. Boy, well, Jeff, how has today been for you?
Wonderful.
Did you end up at the right places today?
Wonderful. I don't know what you mean by that statement, Jay.
Okay, good. Well, let's kick
I
it
go
off.
to the right place all the time.
Dave, you don't have to say
I mean, you know.
stuff. Because, you're enticing us to respond.
Yeah. I have learned to treat Jeff kind of like my retarded uncle. Just a little bit like,
Oh, my God.
just kind of brush him off.
Oh, my
He's always
God.
blabbing on about Trump and all this at dinner.
Yeah.
Let's just let it go.
I get it.
Well, what we're
boys,
talking about.
One thing is we have not discussed this on the show.
Okay.
Daniel Penny
Daniel Penny.
is a
Hero. Yeah, that's right.
Who's Daniel Penny?
Well, it shows what how
Daniel
Jay
Penny
spends his time.
I am bringing the insight of the common man.
Do you remember, Jay, the guy that was going to blow up a subway, and then this Marine?
No, it was a guy that he had some mental issues, but he was on a subway in New York, and he was starting to threaten people's lives.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Daniel Penny's a former Marine, and he got him in a chokehold to restrain him.
Yeah.
Waiting on the police, and when the police got there, the guy was dead. The guy died.
Yeah, he over choked maybe just a little.
Well, what they don't know exactly, during the trial, there was one forensic guy that testified that there was drugs in his system.
Oh, okay.
That could have contributed to the death. They wasn't really for sure that the chokehold is what he died of.
Yeah.
But the jury is now deliberating because the DA pressed charges against Daniel Penny when the people that was on the subway.
That's his hero.
They said he saved her life.
So the guy was crazy.
Yeah.
He was trying to hurt people.
He was going. That's what he said. He was screaming at people and saying, "I don't mind to go back to jail.
All right.
I'm going to kill somebody."
Yeah.
And so.
Well, it sounds like he did a good thing.
Well,
he did do a good
stopped
thing.
everything.
But the issue is, why would you bring charges against somebody like that? He then, Daniel Penny, went to the police station voluntarily without a lawyer and gave his full statement. He was above and beyond. All he was doing was trying to restrain the guy, and in a chokehold that to keep him calm. Well, and the guy died. Now it's tragic that the guy died, but
his intention was not to kill the guy.
No, absolutely not. It wasn't. But if you're riding the subway in New York, would you rather be on the subway with the guy that died or the guy that had him in the chokehold?
That's right.
Now, when did this take place? Do you know?
It's been a few months ago.
Well,
been very long.
You know what happened like during COVID up in New York is they let all the criminals out of the jails up there.
That's true too. Yeah.
So the guy could have. There's been a lot going on up there.
Yeah.
As far as it's kind of a no man's land almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you ever ridden those subways?
No,
I'll be honest with you. It's terrifying enough as it is.
Are you serious?
I couldn't imagine. There's just crazy people walking around.
Yeah.
Just mumbling and trying to get money out of you as you're flying down this antiquated railroad underneath the ground.
Yeah. Well, with the crime rate,
terrifying.
With the crime rate in New York now, they're letting criminals go free while prosecuting Daniel Penny for this.
They not only that, they charged him with manslaughter.
Yes, they did.
And negligent homicide.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, it says here the jury has sent 7 different notes to the judge requesting key pieces of evidence since it began deliberations on Tuesday. They was talking last night like the jury would probably reach a verdict today, but the central issue facing the 7 women and 5 men is whether Penny was justified in placing Neely in the chokehold after witnesses said Neely was threatening passengers on the train. Penny has pleaded not guilty to charges of manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide. So, I mean, to me, I don't know why you even charge the guy. Why do you charge the guy?
I don't know.
You're charging Daniel Penny when you have stuff like what happened with the Health United CEO that was just murdered, assassinated.
Yeah, what was that?
I mean, well, it just goes to show.
And that was New York, wasn't it?
Yeah. It goes to show the crime rate in New York is horrible.
Yeah, but you
It's
have
horrible.
you have zero way to defend yourself.
Right, exactly.
There's no way to defend
None at
outside
all.
of
You can't carry or
being able to
anything.
do some sort of martial arts, and now it looks like you get punished for that.
Well, that's right.
You have no way. You can't carry a gun. There's very few knives you can even carry.
Are you for real?
Yeah,
Oh, like
And
a
so-
pocket knife?
Like pocket knives, you cannot
not
carry a
in New
pocket
York.
knife.
You
No.
can't do none of that
Very
stuff.
few.
How you
most of
going to
your-
peel an apple?
You don't. You eat the skin and all. You don't waste. It's a green new,
Yeah, man. Never.
the green new apple.
It's the green new apple.
But no, it's I mean, I don't know what people do. I was a fish when I was there last. I was just a fish out of water. It wasn't even funny. But there is that, and they said it's even worse now. This was before COVID when I was there.
Yeah.
They let all the prisoners out
Oh,
of
the
the
crime
prisons.
rates out through the roof since COVID. Even it's
Well,
a
they've
whole
got
lot worse.
50,000 illegal immigrants.
Illegals. Exactly.
Of course, I think the mayor's getting a little fed up with them, aren't they? Isn't he?
Well,
Did you see that?
he's acting like it at
He's
least.
acting like
he
he's-
said he wanted to meet with Tom Homan, the new
That's
guy
right.
under Trump, and hear
He's
him
going to
out.
help them.
The thing is, with New York City, with Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco, all these big cities, Chicago.
Yeah,
I mean,
Chicago.
there is more people killed in those big cities in a weekend than what we were losing soldiers during the war in Iraq.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, there is. And do you know if they would just let people defend themselves, this problem would go away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree
It
with
would
that.
go away.
It would go away.
Yeah.
I
mean,
totally agree.
Just let people
Completely
defend
agree.
themselves.
Exactly. But, and I'm not sure if here's the only thing I know. The jury went out to deliberate starting yesterday.
Okay.
It should not have taken them longer than 10 minutes to come back with a verdict. I don't think the guy should have been charged to start with, but it shouldn't have taken them longer than 10 minutes to come back. They came back with a guilty verdict on 34 counts against Trump a whole lot quicker
In this.
than what they're doing here. To me, the longer the jury stays out, the more likely they are to find him guilty of something. That's
Exactly. Yeah.
that's to me what's going to happen. I hate that.
That's number one. Don't live in New York.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Don't live there. Move out of there.
Yeah.
It's getting to the place to where you can't. If you're not allowed, like Jason said, if you can't defend yourself, why would you live in a place like that?
You know David Englehart in his church up there called the King's Church. He's right. I don't know what
He is in Manhattan.
district. Is he in Manhattan?
Is he in
Yeah.
Manhattan?
Yeah.
And that district of Manhattan that he's in, you can see a map of it. He sent it to me. That district that his church is sitting right in the middle of is the only district that went all red in the
Seriously?
yeah, in New York City.
Really?
Yeah, his is all red.
Well, praise
Everything
God.
else is blue.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of red and blue, can we move on
Yes,
to
let's
something
move
here
on.
that has really got me troubled? President Joe Biden weighs preemptive pardons.
What?
Preemptive pardons.
What's he preempting?
Well, he's going to apparently give a pardon to General Milley, Liz Cheney, Anthony Fauci, and some was speculating today as to whether or not he would give himself a preemptive pardon. Now,
that's creative.
Here's the thing about this.
I need one of those.
That's
Listen
creative.
to this. We've not talked about him pardoning Hunter Biden yet.
No.
But let me just say,
But
did you know more Democrats
more
Democrats are mad about that than Republicans?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Over Biden? Hunter Biden?
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to do it.
That's what they're mad about.
Multiple occasions.
That's what they're mad about.
Well, I mean, I watched.
They were holding on. The only thing the Democrats had, the only thing they had,
that they were not above the law.
That's exactly right. And they said it 1,000 times. And
10,000.
Joe Biden's not going to pardon his son. He's already said he's not going to. Matter of fact, the White House press secretary shut a Fox News reporter down and just said, look, I've answered this question 100 times. He's not going to pardon Hunter Biden.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty funny.
Now, I want to get y'all to respond to this. Can I tell you I don't blame him for pardoning his son? I'm just saying. It's his son. I didn't believe him when he said he wasn't going to pardon
Yeah, but
his
you're
son.
saying he's above the law.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if it was me and I was president,
If it was
and that
your
was my
son?
son, I'd pardon him. I'm just saying.
Well, you got to admit now, his son's probably the one that's got the key to the safety deposit box for all this Ukrainian money and stuff. So,
and not only that, but I think they've more or less proved that Joe Biden's getting all of his money through his son.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why would he not pardon him? Why did anybody believe him when he said he was?
Well, that is right.
That's
remarkable.
You know what I'm saying?
But they just didn't have much to hold on to.
No.
But that's kind of like the devil pardoned his son.
Which would happen. I mean, but he's looking at a preemptive pardon for General Milley, for Liz Cheney, which I'm not sure what Liz Cheney even did. But the big one is Anthony Fauci.
Well, it's over January 6th, ain't it, Jeff?
Might be.
Yeah. I mean, she broke a lot of laws over that. Don't you think?
Well, I mean, if you're going to do that, he needs to pardon Nancy Pelosi. She's already admitted that she messed up.
Oh, did she?
Oh, yeah. She's admitted. Well, President Trump, Nancy Pelosi.
You're talking about not having the police there.
Yeah, exactly. Nancy Pelosi was in charge of that. And at any rate, it's just odd to me that it's the Democrats that went after Donald Trump with law. And, they had court cases everywhere. And now before Joe Biden leaves, he's going to pardon everybody he can so they can't get him.
That I was watching a lawyer react to that whole situation yesterday, and he said that where they really messed up with this whole thing, with what Joe really messed up with, is just because somebody is pardoned, when somebody is pardoned like he was, the judge can still put him on the stand and make him testify that he cannot plead the fifth.
Yeah, I heard that today.
Explain that to
so
me.
If you're pardoned, you're not going to get any repercussions for what you got. But when somebody's done that, you lose your right to the Fifth Amendment.
Right, that's right. I heard that today.
And so
which means
in a court of law, they can pull Hunter Biden in. They can pull Anthony Fauci in if he gets pardoned. And
they have to testify against Joe Biden.
They have to testify. They cannot shut up.
You're right.
The judge will then if they will not testify, he will then put them in jail.
Yeah,
until they will testify.
But what happens if Joe Biden pardons himself before he gets out? Then it's not going to matter what they say about
But I don't know that you can pardon yourself.
I heard that.
That kind of was reported today. I don't know if you can or not.
I doubt that's a thing. Surely not.
But I am a little bit interested in him.
He probably can, because I've heard there's like 3 of them running around.
Three Joe Biden.
3 Joe Biden. So he can probably pardon.
I'm sorry. I got lost there for a minute, folks.
Are you the real Jeff Rowland?
No, I don't think I am today. I'm really interested in the Anthony Fauci pardon. Because that one, seems to be.
Would you pardon him of lying, or would you? Well, I don't know what would you.
You talking about Fauci?
Yeah.
Well, the apparently the Congress has a subcommittee that has done a report on COVID, and they've found out that everything, literally everything they done, from the vaccines, they've proven that the vaccines did not stop the transmission or didn't stop the spread of COVID. They're saying there is no conclusive evidence that masks offered any protection at all. Mm-hmm. They're also saying that the 6-foot social distancing was arbitrary, not based on science.
Joke, yeah.
And they're saying that everything they did with the lockdowns created more harm to our military and to our society. So literally everything they done.
Now this is done by a
back
U.S. selected subcommittee.
Yeah, of our Congress. And listen to this. They've already determined that the virus did start in the Wuhan lab.
Right.
Now, it was, during that time, if you mentioned that.
Well, it got leaked there. It's suspected, though, that it was actually already ongoing and starting, down here at Raleigh.
Yeah, well.
But, I mean, it leaked in Wuhan.
Yeah. And if you mentioned that during that time.
Right.
You got kicked off of YouTube.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You got kicked off Facebook.
Yeah.
Everything. But all of that has proven out to be true. So everything that Anthony Fauci has said has been a lie.
So what the U.S. selected subcommittee has published, the title of his COVID-19 report, Trashing Vaccines, Making Protocols. According to this, what you're saying is all of this that was forced upon the American people is you're saying that the suspicion, of the theories. I'm trying to find my theory word.
All the conspiracy
theories.
Yeah.
Are true.
They was all true. And furthermore, here's what they would
partially. It looks like they're
they're all true. And what he would be pardoning Anthony Fauci for is Anthony Fauci testified before Congress to the exact opposite of these things, knowing better. And they've now proven that he knew better when he testified to Congress.
That wasn't Donald Trump.
So, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, so it looks like he'll probably be receiving a presidential pardon.
God bless his little heart.
Yeah, highest paid official in
America,
in our government. Yeah.
What else does this article say here, Jeff? I'm flipping up on it here, Jay. It says here, on Monday, the U.S. House of Representatives Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic capped off a 2-year investigation. Wow. By releasing a 520-page bombshell, is called, report concluding that, contrary to what was promised, the COVID-19 vaccine did not stop the spread or transmission of the virus. There's no conclusive evidence that masks offer protection. Moreover, the 6-foot social distancing. I was in somewhere yesterday, and I walked in, they still had the 6-foot little steps on the floor.
I've seen some of that.
They've got some really, they've outlasted the coronavirus. And so it goes on talking about vaccine mandates were not supported by science and cause more harm than good. Trust is earned. Subcommittee Chairman Brad Winstrup, a Republican of Ohio, wrote in a letter to Congress, accountability, transparency, honesty, integrity will regain this trust. A future pandemic requires a whole of America response managed by those without personal benefit or bias. If we have another one, it'll just have to wipe us out because there's nobody going to listen.
Ain't nobody going to listen to that no more.
Read that next sentence real quick.
What is
that
it,
next
Terry?
little section?
In a subsequent appearance on Rob Schmidt tonight, Winstrup added, but I want to tell you, there was a cover-up by China. There was a cover-up within our government, and there was a cover-up by international scientists who do gain-of-function research and rely on grant money.
There you go.
Yeah, and
sums it up.
Well, and it goes back to something.
Boys, that's very criminal. I'm sorry.
It goes back to something
evil.
we talked about on this podcast that I'd like to revisit. I'd like to revisit this for a second.
What's that?
They have proven a threat of money from China through Hunter Biden to Joe Biden. They've proven
that
in
right.
the laptop that they said didn't exist and wasn't real and it was a
nobody can find
hoax.
it now. Yeah.
No, they've got the laptop. The FBI's got it. Yeah. So they've proven a threat of money from China to Hunter Biden. And if the big guy is Joe Biden, which everybody knows it is, that threat of money traveled on through to Joe Biden. Why was China giving them money? Was this, you say, okay, well, here's what we know.
I know it's hard to get
was
McDonald's
gain of
over
function research done on the coronavirus down here in Raleigh. It ended up in the Wuhan lab in China. It got leaked out. Donald Trump lost that election because of the coronavirus, because of COVID-19. It absolutely devastated and cost millions of lives. I'd just like to know if there is a connection between the two. Is that a conspiracy theory? Yeah.
Yeah, you're going. Yeah.
But is there legitimacy to it? Here's the thing that I know: Hunter Biden got paid by the Chinese Communist Party. For what?
Well, probably because he is a professional counselor in areas of petroleum products.
Yeah, and that's how he made his money from the Ukraine.
Well, that's the only credentials I can think of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, okay, China paid him this money for what?
Well, we all know what for what.
And I'm just saying that I brought this up a long time ago that I felt like that there was something between China and Joe Biden, and it ended up with Joe Biden being president of the United States.
Well, can I throw in something? Based on what's happening now in the Trump administration, I think I could be corrected, but I think at the end of this next 4 years that we'll find out that God was looking after us for Trump not to win. Because
I think so.
He has gained such a momentum of, I'm going to bust this thing. I mean, by this nomination.
He's got more zeal to do it now than he did before.
And probably education, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's learned.
And help.
Everybody's run to probably his help's his biggest asset. Yeah. But I think he's learned it. I mean, I think he knows now how he didn't know where the swamp started and where it ended. I think I just wonder, I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the way he lost and all that, and I'm for it because I'm not. But it almost makes me wonder if we would have spent him then.
I hear what you're saying.
I think I'd rather spend him
now than then.
Even though we lost so much and so many lives and everything through the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been a costly education.
It sure has.
If God is now, when I submit that's not an original idea. Our Mr. Blaze guy came up with that one.
Glenn Beck.
Beck had a podcast, I think it was last night late, that I saw it, that he pitched that idea from a spiritual perspective, not discounting all the bad stuff that happened, but he did say that Trump now and what he's actually doing, if he went right back in there, he said it wouldn't have been a lot of difference.
We'd have wasted 2.5 years on COVID.
I am.
Yeah, that's true.
I would be much in agreement. I would be much in agreement with that. The thing that I would hope in this next 4 years is that there would be the destruction of this swamp to the point that some of these cover-ups would be uncovered. And some of the conspiracy theories would either be proven true or not true.
Laid to rest.
And that we could see plainly what has went on. I'll
be honest with you.
I'm hoping for that.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know of many conspiracy theories that we now know, but what they weren't true.
So far, everything. We
need some good ones now.
Yeah, hey, so far.
We need some good ones now.
I know.
I'm running out.
Well, so far, everything Trump said was going on, they've proven went on.
The only one I'm holding out that's not right yet, and I can't remember his name, got the real gruff voice. I think Trump's thinking about maybe putting him on, not Bongino, but the guy that's got kind of heavy set, got the rough voice.
Steve Bannon?
No, a podcaster.
Oh, you're talking about
podcaster.
Alex
Jones.
Alex Jones, yeah.
I want him to be press secretary so bad.
he's the only one that's still stretching me now in conspiracy theory.
He's been right.
I know he has.
He's been right. That dude is a prophet.
Well,
I'm sorry.
The only thing I can
has
say,
a prophetic gift.
The only thing I can say is the things that Trump was made fun of for has proven to be true.
More so, let me say this, and if I can say it correctly, more so than would be common.
Yeah. Yes.
He's been
That's right.
He's been correct almost to a supernatural level.
That's right.
I'm not trying to make something out of Trump. I am trying to make something out of God. I think that he has been so correct, it's outside of the realm of just naturally people messing up. And when he was correct.
And it appears to me that there's at least some Democrats that they're seeing this. They're starting to see this.
There's a few at least getting embarrassed.
There's some. Now I did hear this. They're of course it's way early, but they're floating AOC as a possible nominee for 2028.
Yeah.
Because she'll be of age to run.
Well, right now, as of yesterday, Kamala Harris is still top of their list. But I also heard that.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold, you can't just say that and then.
I was
go back and
response.
restate that. I was.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. Actually,
what did you see again?
That Kamala Harris was still top of the list of the next running for the Democratic nomination of President of the United States.
That's a great idea.
I pray right now in Jesus' name that happens.
No, don't bring Jesus in on that one.
Don't blame Jesus for that.
Did you know that woman raised? They raised. What was it?
They got
$1.5 billion they spent on the campaign,
and they funneled.
And she's $20 million in debt
now.
In the campaign. Way outspent Trump. Well,
they gave what's that to Beyonce? They didn't give her like $200,000.
Yeah, they give Oprah Winfrey $1 million or something to do to host
stuff.
a little thing.
All those entertainers and everything she had running around with her.
Yeah, they hired every one of them.
That was all. All that's coming out now is that they all were getting money.
To do that. That was all.
It was performance fees, but that's what it was. It's just.
But
I'll tell you the unsung hero in this whole thing. And I haven't seen a whole lot of attention being given to him is Trump's son, Barron.
Yeah.
I truly do believe that if it hadn't been for Barron, Trump would not have won.
Well, he took a lot of the young votes, he said. He brought them in.
Barron is the one that set up all the podcasts for Trump.
Really?
Yeah,
Trump had no idea what he was even going to do.
Yeah.
I heard that,
all of the
too.
stuff was because of Barron.
A couple of days ago.
Well, I'll tell you something else that I think contributed heavily was Charlie Kirk. I think Charlie Kirk, I honestly believe that because, for this reason, if you look at the demographics of the young people that turned toward Trump, I think that's almost single-handedly to Barron and to Charlie Kirk.
Did you see that video of Charlie Kirk when he was live when they announced Trump won?
Yeah. Oh,
Good Lord, about made me cry.
I know.
Oh, really?
He bawled like a baby.
Oh, my gosh, about made me
did
cry.
he really?
He was just bawling his eyes out. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It was something else. That dude worked his butt off.
He tirelessly.
Yeah.
Just tirelessly. And
he
did a good job.
I think really knew what was at stake if we lost that round.
Yeah.
Don't you think so, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you imagine
I can't
if
imagine.
Kamala had won?
Yeah, think about that.
And just 20 million you guys, they say it was a landslide. It was still way too close for my company.
Me too. I can't imagine her getting the amount of votes she got. But
But look at that map.
Yeah.
It's like Verizon coverage.
Yeah.
Well, I know it, but we must have lost. What was it? 20 million people that we lost them to COVID that didn't vote.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Well,
they're undocumented, but anyway.
Oddly enough, you know what? Here's another interesting little fact. Trump got about the same amount of votes this election that he did against Biden.
Almost identical. Yeah, almost identical.
People can say what they want to. I'm not buying that Joe Biden got more votes than anybody that's ever run.
Never to this day.
Ain't buying it. Sorry.
No, window shut. No, that one's Stinky's.
Yeah, that really Daddy Pete's.
That and Daddy Pete's
right there in the middle of it.
Yeah. That one would be. I just can't. You can't stretch my brain that far.
In the next 4 years, it's going to be interesting to find out. Just how much stuff is uncovered.
When Tucker, came out with that, and I heard him. Of course, he really had a very polished way in presenting his reason that he said that. But when he put his, spiritual spin to it, he believes that if we really look back on it now, he said, we're all going to see that God held it off until Trump could get some of these people in place. He could learn what he needed to learn, and He went through a pretty good spiel. If I find it, I'll send it to you guys. And but he made a believer. He kind of swayed me there.
Well, you know what? I mean, we'd have to at least say this. Had he have went in then and not now, chances are he wouldn't have Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Robert Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard.
And Tucker, he was bringing all that up.
He wouldn't have those people had he have won then.
Yeah.
So he does have now something that he can work with.
He was saying, too, how there's been a movement truly birthed now.
Yeah.
That if you take Trump out of it, it's still there.
That's
there.
right.
Yeah.
And I will say the Democrat Party's in trouble. They're in trouble. If they don't redefine themselves.
They have been in trouble with God.
Oh, yeah. With God, they have. But with the nation.
And with me, too. Not putting me up there at God. But.
Man, Elon, he is just a live wire on Twitter right now.
Oh, I know it. I'm praying he doesn't blow a gasket.
He is just a live wire. It is amazing.
He just doesn't quit.
Him and Ramaswamy's meeting with senators today on the Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're up there today.
He fired 90% of Twitter when he blew it.
Yeah.
90%.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's really good at that.
Listen to what he put out. Here's what Elon Musk put out. Him and Ramaswamy put this out earlier today, I think it was. It literally blows my mind. If you take all of the security for all of the government buildings out of the equation, 1% of the government employees show up for work. You didn't hear me.
Where did you get that?
That was reported on Fox News today.
Are you sure you heard that?
1%. They said it over and over and over and over and over again. 1% shows up for work. We have government buildings in Washington, D.C. that are sitting empty.
Yeah.
They're sitting empty. People are mailing in their work from home.
Mm-hmm. It's all remote work.
Okay, but watch this.
Elon
the productivity is what
Elon
they've already said. Him and Vivek both have said this. One of the first things they're going to do is require everybody to come to work. Mm-hmm. And he said that's going to get rid of half of them.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're hoping half of them will quit before they get there.
Oh, they will. They will. Guarantee you they're looking for jobs now if they know they have to go back to work.
They're going to get there and like, okay, what's my job? What do I do?
I wonder what it is.
What do I do? Well, when they shut down.
That blowed my mind.
Are you serious?
We have just about all those buildings in Washington, D.C. They're empty. They're empty. Nobody comes there. Nobody's there. Our tax dollars.
All remote.
Our tax dollars. And
that comes from COVID, and they just never went back to work.
Never went back to work.
Well, that's what Elon run into, with Twitter. COVID, nobody.
Yeah.
Just nobody. He said, no, you're going to have to show up for work.
They just come back to work.
So they did, and he fired them.
Well, maybe they'll do the same thing.
They had to show up so he could fire them.
Yeah. But, I mean, they're still saying that they think they can reach $2 trillion worth of cuts in the government.
You know what he said he was going to do was give everybody 2 years severance package. That's what Elon said.
Oh, did he really?
He said he wasn't going to just fire people. He was going to give them a severance package and just completely shut down the whole department.
Which that would be the best thing. That would limit the scope of government and the scope of government intrusion in our lives. And with the getting rid of those departments, you got to get rid of all the regulations too.
Department of Education.
Yeah. Praise God. Hallelujah.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I was in high school, I could have done that single-handedly, not even lost a minute's sleep.
I think I had it done and then they reinstituted it.
All right, guys.
It didn't work too well for me to try to shut down my Department of Education.
No, your mom had something to say about that.
That's exactly right.
A little bit.
All right, guys, we are out of time. It's just a wonderful, cool day here in Alexander County.
Yeah.
I just want to let everybody know right up front that Jeff Rowland is my friend.
That's exactly right. No, wait a minute.
That's
back
conspiracy.
Up on that.
Conspiracy.
That is conspiracy.
We're trying to get new conspiracies going.
Okay. All right, guys. Say bye.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you for joining today's Smith and Rowland Show. You can check out our website at kingdompropheticsociety.org and our daily Unplugged podcast at smithandrowlandshow.podbean.com. You can also join us on Amazon, Apple, or Spotify.